Club Brugge 0, Arsenal 3. Arsenal B team 3. Yes, there were some players out there that do get into our first 11, but rotation. And big up to the manager tonight for getting it almost right, apart from one. Why do you bring on Bukayo Saka at 3-0? Why do you bring on Bukayo Saka at 3-0? Why? But we'll get into that. The team selection we'll get into. We're going to get into a big, massive 3 points tonight that can now allow Inter Milan to be a dead rubber, hoping that we're assuming we beat Kairat at the Emirates. And that should see us finish top at least. Anyway, getting into the top 3, I would say, depending on what Bayern Munich and some of the other teams do. But let's worry about that when we get to it. Right now, it's about tonight's performance. Big up to everyone that's here. Make sure you hit like, make sure you hit subscribe, and make sure you're following OK Jerseys, who are tonight's sponsor. Use the code 12MAN to get 8% off with any of these tops, with anybody on the back, and it will come for Christmas if you're quick. Once you've hit like and subscribe, let's get into the game. The team news. I think the only shock that I can say there was Christian Norgard playing at centre-back. Now, big up to Matt Pepperpinkus on AFTV, who did actually suggest that that may happen. I did watch that predicted 11 and thought it was a mad take, but actually, fair play. He must have knew something, because that is what happened. Christian Norgard, and to be fair, steady, weren't he? He was all right. I mean, I didn't expect him to pull up trees, but I thought he was pretty steady. Raya in goal. We'll come back to why that was important in a minute. Ben White, I expected. Lewis Skelly. Wasn't sure if he'd go for him or Calafiori because of, obviously, the suspension to Calafiori at the weekend. At the back, Nkapie partnered Norgard, as we mentioned. Zubimendi started. And then, of course, we had Odegaard and Marino. Up top, Gyökeres. More on him in a minute. Noni Madueke started, and Gabriel Martinelli. We saw Jesus tonight. We saw Bukayo Saka, which I really didn't want to see. Ethan Waneri come on. Probably should have come on a little bit longer, in my opinion. But he came on. Calafiori came on as well. So let's talk a little bit about the game. I thought it was dominant from us. I thought it was fair from us. I thought it was a good performance from us. I didn't think there was anybody that didn't look too great, other than one player. Let's get the negatives out very, very quickly. Victor Gyökeres doesn't look right in this system. Victor Gyökeres doesn't look right for Arsenal. And I'm not sure that Victor Gyökeres is the striker that we all thought he was going to be. And I have to hold my hands up and say that I think I might have got this one wrong. As the performances go by, we see glimpses, but we don't see what we all want, and that's goals. And I don't mind and care so much that he holds up the ball, because I've got a Havertz or a Marino that can do that. But what frustrates me more than anything is I've seen a lot of players in this position at Arsenal, and Gyökeres is not an upgrade on any of them. And right now, I wouldn't even say that Victor Gyökeres is playing to the level where he's an upgrade on Eddie Nketiah, let alone Kai Havertz. It's been poor performance after poor performance, and everyone's been trying to live in some bedded in time. What does he do well? Where he holds the ball up, he links it up. Well, so does Marino, and he's a better finisher. So does Havertz, and he does more off the ball. So does Eddie Nketiah, to be fair. He was one that could do that. But the finishing isn't there for Victor Gyökeres at the moment. And I'm not going to make the excuse that we're not really feeding him or giving much to him, because there was a lot of balls that went into the box today. There was a lot of opportunities where he could have got on the end of it. And I'm just not seeing it from Victor Gyökeres. It doesn't look hungry enough for me. It doesn't look like he's wanting it enough. It seems to me as if he's expecting a ball to fall on a plate for him. And that's not going to happen at the Arsenal. I do put some of it on Mikel Arteta in the system, because I don't feel the system is set up for him. I think it's actually set up for Havertz and Marino more. But we have to stop making excuses for him. He's played enough games. We're 15 Premier League games into the season and 6 Champions League games in, and a couple of League Cup games as well. And I'm not seen enough from him to be impressed. I'm not convinced that we've got the guy that can take us across the line. I've just got to be honest. Sometimes you can change your opinion. You know, if you want to say that's flip-flopping, I think everybody flip-flops, don't they? But for me, I'm definitely coming towards the stage of I'm not sure about Victor Gyökeres. I hope that we can do more. I hope that we can get better. And I hope that he can improve. But right now, I'm not really feeling it, if I'm honest with you. Apologies if my Wi-Fi is moving mad. I'll say this. He was the only one who disappointed tonight. I thought everybody else played pretty well. Let's start with David Raya. This is why I need David Raya starting in this game tonight, not Kepa. Because I don't trust Kepa. But I tell you who I do trust, our goalkeeper, David Raya. Because tonight, he was brilliant. There was a really good couple of saves that he made tonight that won't be mentioned or probably won't even be replayed. There's one that's on the right-hand side. He's kept it low. It's a good shot. He gets down so quickly. I'm not sure Kepa does. There's another couple of saves that he made that was parried out, that was caught, command of his area. And I'm not sure that I have the faith and confidence that Kepa can do that. I'm not saying he's a bad backup. I'm just saying that I'd rather see Raya in these games than Kepa in perhaps some of the other ones that are a bit more dead rubber. I think David Raya is showing why he is now one of Europe's best goalkeepers. I think he's right up there. Yes, Alisson and Courtois, and maybe there's a few more you want to mention. But for me right now, David Raya is showing why he's one of the best in the league and one of the best in Europe. I thought he had an excellent game and was very, very underrated performance from him today. Then we go to right back. Ben White's hungry to stay in this team, isn't he? He's driving us forward. He's good defensively. I think he's good link-up play. I think down that right-hand side, there's always a telepathy. And I'll say this about Ben White. I do have confidence in Ben White. And I don't think he's going to hold down the position because Jurriën Timber's so good. And let me be absolutely clear, he should not. Timber is by far the best right back we've got at the club. But Ben White puts in a performance. And I would say out of all the positions and squad depth we've got, he's probably the strongest that we've got there. If Timber was to go down at right back and we've got our centre-back still fit, I'd have no problem putting Ben White in at right back. But he isn't as good as Timber, and I think, he's been proving that over the last few games. He's certainly been one of our most consistent performers, I would say, in the last few since he's come in at right back, though, and that's very pleasing. Lewis Skelly, okay, I like him a lot. I just think his future is in midfield. He wants to be there. He's always playing there. He's inverted to play there. So let's just play him there, because there was a couple of times in the first half, particularly, that he got caught out. And against better opposition, I do think that there could have been problems for Arsenal there. I've got no problem with a player inverting, whether he's from right back or left back. But it does give you space. If you lose the ball, there's space in behind. And Lewis Skelly hasn't got back in time a couple of times there. And that's happened across the last couple of seasons, if I'm honest with you. So big fan of Miles Lewis Skelly. Got an unbelievable future. But I do think that he's more of a box-to-box 8 midfielder. I just got to be real with you. And I want to see him in there. If we play Palace in the League Cup, maybe we get an opportunity to see him and Ethan together in the middle and see what that looks like. Because for me, I do feel like there's something there for the future with those two. I really do. Then we come at centre-back. I thought Nketiah was really good. He was unlucky. He hit the post with a chance in the first half. I just have a lot of faith in him defensively. I just think one-on-one defending is very good. He's aggressive. He's strong. He's physical. He's powerful. He's not afraid to go forward with the ball. He's not afraid to try a pass. He's not afraid to get forward when there's an opportunity and when it's safe to do so. I thought Nketiah played well today. I really did. Norgard kept it steady. Kept it really steady. I've got to be real. I thought that was an okay performance from Norgard. And I think I've seen more from him there than I probably have in midfield, to be honest with you. I'm not too sure about him. I've got a question mark over the signing. I don't know that it's the Arsenal level that we need. But tonight he came in and was reliable and responsible, and he held it for us at the kind of centre half position that is an option now to use there if we were in desperate need and last resort. And I thought it was very brave and a very good decision by Mikel Arteta to rest Timber today. And I wanted to rest Timber, but I genuinely didn't see another way that we did it. But that was the way, playing him there. Fair play. We go into midfield, and Zubimendi was really good today. I thought in the first half he gave the ball away a couple of times, but he was excellent. More on him because he was involved in a goal later on. Odegaard, he's really good at leading from the press. He's really good at pushing us forward. He does have a good weight of pass on him at times. He did have a really good shot in the first half, but if I'm honest with you, I need to see more balls threaded through. I need to see more creativity from him, and I'm not sure that we've got that. I think at the moment, when I'm looking at Martin Odegaard's game, it's a hell of a lot deeper. And I do question whether he's attacking 10 or more of an attacking 8, because I do see a lot of his play deeper. And I just wonder if there's an opportunity at times to see him and Rice switch over to right and left, or maybe playing Odegaard in the kind of deeper left 8 role at times if Rice needs a rest, and Eza coming on in the attacking 10, or maybe even Ethan tonight. Why did we have Ethan more attacking and then Odegaard on that kind of deeper 8 role? But we didn't see that tonight. Obviously, Mikel Merino was in there, and I actually thought he played pretty well. He was in and around. He made some good passes. He makes himself a nuisance, doesn't he? And he's always got an eye for goal in terms of the heading ability and the aerial ability from him. Then we come out wide to 2 players who were probably even for me to give man of the match to. Gyökeres we've mentioned. Don't want to mention him much more. Another poor night. Let's move on. On the right, the reason I really like what I see from Noni Madueke, whether you think he's the complete finished article yet or not, which I don't think he is, he has a go. And sometimes when you have a go, guess what? You've got a chance of it hitting the top bins. And that's exactly what it did. Now, I didn't see Noni Madueke everywhere. I didn't see him taking on everybody. But when he did take his man on, most of the time he got past him. Whether he delivered after that or not is a question mark. But his output is something I've questioned. You can beat your man. There's no questioning that, Noni. You can go inside and out of him like a pretzel if you really have to, right? You can easily beat your guy. but can you deliver a cross or can you cut in and shoot? And we saw today that he picks up the ball quite some distance out, cuts in on his left, and boom, top bins. It was an excellent goal. It's the best goal he's probably scored in football. I've not seen any that are better than that for Chelsea, and I certainly haven't seen him score any better than that for Arsenal yet. That's probably the best goal he scored for his 5-year career, 4-year career, whatever it be at the top. Big fan. Big fan of his performance. And not only does he put that in, he delivers another shot, which really does test the goalkeeper not long after. And I'm thinking, good, he's having a dig. How many times have we cried out for an Arsenal player to shoot more often? You have to go back to Thomas Rosicky, Lucas Podolski, and Robin van Persie, and maybe even Alexis Sanchez for that to be the case. We never really do it. Ødegaard never really does. He's starting to more. But when the shots come in, they're kind of poor. Declan Rice has a dig, but he's the only one in the team that will have a shot. And now Noni Madueke's come in, and I'm thinking good, because Saka's always looking more to deliver it. Noni's looking to cut in and shoot. That's a really good attribute to have. And I thought he was excellent tonight. And then we move to the second goal. Zubamendi's cross, chef's kiss, is absolutely beautiful with his left foot. And I thought that goal was actually really good because the ball is absolutely beautiful and Noni Madueke is in the right place. And I know he can't miss and it's an open goal with his head, right? But you have to be there. Like Victor Gyökeres should be there, right? We should be seeing that from our striker, but we're seeing it from Noni Madueke. I thought he was really good. Really, really good. And I was impressed. So he gets, for me, probably the player of the match. But we have to talk about Gabriel Martinelli tonight. Because as much as he wasn't delivering all of his crosses perfectly, he was lively. He never gave up. He was tenacious. I loved the tracking back. I loved the passion. I loved the drive forward. I loved the fact that when he did put it in the box, he was frustrated if it didn't go well and he tried again. And then we saw the goal. And the goal is absolutely exquisite. He had some really good bits of skill tonight, Martinelli, as well. Technically, his touches were good. His first touch was good. He beat his man. There was a couple of times where he actually beat his man with his first touch and then run onto it. He showed more pace and power. And tonight, when he comes into the side more centrally, I really feel like he's a threat. So I was a big fan of Gabriel Martinelli, and he's probably my player of the match tonight, just ahead of Noni Madueke, because other than the header and the unbelievable strike, I don't think Madueke did enough in the game to win that player of the match award over Martinelli. You're probably going to give it to Noni because of his goals, and I get that. But I thought Martinelli tonight was really good. I've got to be honest. I was really impressed with him. And some people might say it was frustrating at times, but maybe Noni Madueke was. But they scored 3 brilliant goals. In particular, both of them got an absolute banger each. I mean, that goal Martinelli scores is sensational, by the way. It's basically one cutting on the right-hand side, one cutting on the left foot, left foot, top bins. Superb. Excellent from both of them tonight. Fair play. Doing more than our striker at the moment. Let's have it right. Yeah. Really impressed. Really, really impressed. So I thought both of them deserved to share the player of the match. But if I had to give it to one in terms of minute 1 to minute 90, I'd probably just go with Martinelli. But Noni Madueke probably has got it and probably does deserve it if it's already been announced. Let's talk about the substitutes very quickly because it was interesting for me tonight to see the rotation. The first one is the negative. Why is he bringing Saka on at 3-0? Does he have to do that? Do we really need Saka to come on when we're 3-0 up? No. Oh, get minutes in his legs for the weekend. Are we mad? Let him rest. Because he'll start him at the weekend, by the way. He'll start him. It's mad. I don't know what we're doing. I really don't know what we're doing there. I think it's madness. Absolutely madness. But that was the only one I didn't mind, that I did mind. The ones I didn't mind was Gabriel Jesus, who hit the post, hit the crossbar, very unlucky. A couple of shots he was really disappointed with. I actually thought he had a better performance than Gyökeres, and he actually looked like he might be worthy of a start soon up top because he's the one that I look back to and think, when you're fit, I probably enjoyed watching Arsenal the most when Gabriel Jesus was up front. In that 22-23 season, when we went on that massive winning streak, we went like, 8-9 points clear at one stage. I genuinely thought that we had an excellent chance of doing something with Gabriel Jesus on the side. And maybe in a couple of weeks' time, he might be knocking on that door and saying, I need to start ahead of Victor Gyökeres. So let's watch this space with Gabriel Jesus because he looked lively and sharp when he came on. And I love the way he held the ball up a few times. He's for a small guy, he's strong, and he gets in front of his defender. Gyökeres weren't doing that. Gyökeres doesn't get in front of his defender. He jostles with him and loses out. Jesus gets in front and then starts to back in and then control the ball. I need to see that. And I'm enjoying seeing that from Jesus. Ethan Waneri come on with a couple of good touches and a couple of shots. He needs more minutes. Worried about Ethan. Needs more minutes. Obviously, Calafiori came on, and I liked that because it got Nkapie a time. It gave Nkapie a chance to rest, but it also allowed Calafiori to show what he can do at centre-back as well, which I think is still good at left-sided centre-back. So that was a really interesting one for me. And big up to Marley Salmon coming on. 17-year-old. He looks like he's going to be an excellent addition. It's actually a defender that's coming through the ranks, which, let's be real, we haven't had a centre-half that's decent since Tony Adams come through the Arsenal. Let's have it right. There's been nobody else come through that you think, Johan Giroud and Philippe Senderos and all these guys that come through at the time, we're like, they ain't going to make it. And a defender at centre-half, haven't had one since Tony Adams, David O'Leary. They'll have to go back that far before we do. So for me, I think we've going to have to look at Salmon as one that we can look at, see where he's going to be moulded in, how he's going to be moulded in. And maybe next season he gets a loan move somewhere and starts playing weekly and we see how good he is. So big up to him. Top of the Champions League group, won all 6 games. I don't remember the last time we've done that, if I'm honest. I don't remember the last time we've won all 6. We used to play 6 games in the group stages when it was the old Champions League format. And I don't remember a time we won all 6 of them, if I'm honest with you. We've definitely drew or lost one in the past. So to win all 6 is absolutely outstanding. And if we can get through Inter Milan without losing, and we can go and beat K-Rat at the Emirates, which I think we will, I truly believe it's probably one of the best we've ever done in the Champions League starts, in the Champions League campaigns. So big up. We've got a great chance of going all the way in the competition. I truly believe that. My only question mark is, can we get it across the line? Just like the Premier League. Great chance of winning the Champions League. Great chance of winning the Premier League. Can the manager get this team across the line? Games coming up thick and fast. Wolves is next. Hit the like button. Make sure you hit subscribe. Let's get to 60K, people. And I will see you on the next one.